Hello, Robin at Toadstool Tarot here. I thought I might try a little hashtag challenge today. We'll call it hashtag favorite flaws, although that's kind of a misnomer because they're not really flaws. Uh, uh, Everybody has their favorite decks, and even your favorite decks can be less than perfect. Or there might be something that you, given the chance, might change and make it even better to suit you. So that's where this came in because I'm going to show you about one, two, three, four, 5 or 6 of my top favorites these days, and each one of them, what I might change to improve it, make it perfect for me. So they're not really flaws, but I mean, if they weren't there, they'd be perfect. The first one, if any of you have followed me for a while, you know my absolute favorite deck is the RWS 2.0 by James Rickleffe. These are the backs, and this is one of the things I would change. It's okay, but I'm just not that keen on that star image. I do really like the gradated black or slate gray. And so it'd be kind of cool, I think, if that was the whole back. Just, dark in the corners and a little bit of blur lighter effect in the center. Those would make handsome backs, I think. These cards feel really good. These are from Make Playing Cards, and they're just like, I don't know, they call them S30 cardstock, but they feel really slick and nice. But I'm going to show you. I mean, this is the standout card of the deck. Now, the other things I would change was if it were me, I'd remove that copyright there. I know why he has it on there to protect his rights, but it's a little bit of an eyesore. Also, you get used to it over time, but if I had my druthers, it wouldn't be there. Also, there's the font at the bottom and the color in the label, which I might change. It's not a bad font, but there's probably a better font choice out there for me. And also the coloring in I don't know, that's less of a bother, but I mean, the majors and the 4 suits each have different color shading in the label. Now, what I do like is the atmospheric bleed off the edge of the cards, which really provides this nice, almost labelless effect. I mean, not almost borderless effect, I should say. There is a pin black outline there, but the sort of blurred edge extends the atmosphere from the card off the edge of the card, which I love. So trimming this deck wouldn't really do it for me because I like that bleed. But those are the things I'd change. So I'm just going to show you a few more of the stunning images from this deck because it's almost a perfect deck. But it has a few favorite flaws. These are some of the more outstanding cards in the deck, I think. The next one on my list is the, I got it in a bag here. Oh, yeah, I could complain about that. Oh, that was another potential flaw for the RWS. It doesn't, RWS 2.0 doesn't come in a box or a bag or anything. I bought a generic tin to store it in, and I like tins, but it would be nice if it came in a tin with maybe my favorite image on the box, which happens to be the Three of Wands. Just saying. Next one is Peony Archer's The Little Monsters Tarot. This I absolutely love. I don't love the box so much. I mean, it's a tuck box. So I keep it in a Peggy bag that I've ordered from Peggy Papez. She has an Etsy site called Sparks Creations. It's a beautiful bag. Now these cards, this is a hefty deck. I mean, it feels like it weighs about 5 pounds. I don't know what kind of cardstock this is. I love the look and feel of these cards. They have a really slick feel, almost waxy, but like slippery. And I love the sort of eggshell white, not kind of like ostrich eggshell, sort of off white, not like American hen eggs. Really pretty, almost an ivory kind of color. Now the thing I don't like about this deck is the cardstock and the size, really. It's heavy, it's really thick, they're oversized, they're hard to handle and hard to shuffle. So I mean, they feel nice and flexible. It's just the card size is a bit much. Also, I'm not all that keen on these little ovals. I mean, that's an aesthetic thing. I'm not sure what the purpose is behind that. There's no information about it, I don't believe, in the box. In fact, I don't think this comes with a book. I think you have to buy the book separately, and the book is larger, so it doesn't fit in the box. So that's another potential flaw. But I would say basically the flaw for me with this deck is the oversized cards. I wish these were a more manageable card size. And I'd be just perfectly thrilled if they didn't have those ovals on them, if they just had the images floating on white card. I'll show you a few of the images. There's the Fool. I didn't pick out favorites. I'm just showing a few off the top of the shuffled deck that I have here. Oh, it looks like I may have actually put these back in order. That'll give you a little bit of an idea about that. The next deck is my Scylla Conway Intuitive Tarot, which I also have in a Peggy bag, though it does come in a box. And the box is nice. It's a hinged box. I'm not keen on the texture on this box. Some people might love it. It almost has a powdered, rubbery kind of feel to it, which tactile-wise is I don't enjoy so much. But it's got a hinge on the box. And also it comes with a little guidebook, and the guidebook has a similar kind of texture to it, to the box. The cards don't, thank God. The cards have a really nice, slick, smooth feel, and they are really slippery and feel great in the hands to the touch to shuffle. This is, I don't believe it says which edition this is. I think it's the second edition. Yes, this is the second edition. The original one, I believe, had borders, but had, I'm not sure if they were black borders or white borders, but they were larger format. Oh, this second edition, 14 years after the original, has a larger format. So here again, we have a case where this one doesn't feel as heavy as the Little Monsters, but and the cards are kind of thick. It's a little bit of a thick, unwieldy deck, and the cards are a little larger than I would prefer. They make it a little bit awkward to shuffle, difficult to shuffle. I'm not a big fan of big cards, which is one of the reasons why I don't collect a lot of Oracle decks, because mostly they come in larger format cards. So I'll show you a few of these. Don't mind the borders on the bottom. They're very handsome. These also have a kind of an egg-like shape, but this one doesn't bother me. I kind of like the way it's framed, and it's kind of an oval energy portal and fades to black at the corners. I like these images a lot. So that's Scylla Conway's Intuitive Tarot. Number 3. Number 4, in another Peggy bag. This one also didn't come with a box. Didn't come with a book either. This is a sort of a Marseille style deck. It's the Tarot des Ozarks. And I love this deck. It's my favorite Marseille deck, even though she doesn't claim it to be a Marseille deck. This was from Printer Studio. And these are the backs. This is the second edition. They have new backs. I liked the first edition backs better, which was sort of a red with kind of a starburst pattern on it. However, it did have a copyright, and so it's out of print. I was going to try and track one down, but when I saw the copyright, I thought, no, I'll stick with this one. These are pretty backs. They just kind of, the style of the painting suits the deck. The coloration and the subject matter doesn't, because this isn't really a floral deck, and these blues and greens are not, that blue in particular, I don't think is anywhere in the deck, but show you some of these. These are nice cardstock. I like these. Also slick and easy to shuffle. Beautiful colors. It's a gorgeous deck. Now, the fatal flaw for me in this deck is there's a nod to French Marseille, and they have the labels at the bottom, but they're almost illegible, and I'm not sure that they're. I don't speak French really, but I have seen other cards, and these labels don't correspond to other cards I've seen. Did I show the Fool? No. For instance, the Fool on Marseille cards usually says La Mat. And on this one, it has a different name if I can find it. It's not La Mat. Something else. I'll probably be searching through the whole deck to find it. Or is it on the bottom? Well, you might have to just take my word for it. But they do have some beautiful images on it, very painterly. And the pips have really nice different coloring and I didn't mean to show you the whole deck, but this really is a lovely deck. Oh, there it is, the Fool. This is the Fool, and it looks like it says Leroiel, the Royal, or Lepoel, the Pole. I don't know, but the other thing is I've been using. I'm still learning Marseille or Pip deck, how to read Pip decks. And I know this is not the way to do it, but I've been using as a sort of a cheat from my another tarot set, this little handy little book, The Key to the Tarot, which came with an RWS set. It's got little color images in it. It's a great little pocket-sized book. And I've been tucking that into the bag and using that when I can't remember which pip corresponds to which number and suit. I can usually visually make a connection to interpret or read that way. And I know you're not supposed to like mix up Marseille interpretations with RWS system interpretations, but I mean, it's one way of doing it, and this is helping me a little bit with that. Also, from my influence of the Angels deck, it came with these two little cheat cards, which are really helpful. One of them is the minor arcana number meanings, and the other is the minor arcana suit meanings. So I can use these as little helpful hints. I don't know if this is sharp enough focus if you wanted to take a screenshot of those to help you out. And I'm using those three tools to help me learn the pips so that I can make easier use of this deck. Once I'm learned enough in that, I'll put the helps back in their corresponding deck boxes. But anyway, back to my hashtag favorite flaws. For me, the major flaw with this deck is the scrawled on illegible titles, labels at the bottom. They need to be more legible, I think. Next, I have two decks here. These are my Carol Herser decks. They come in these beautiful, beautiful bags. I'm not sure why she makes the bags so deep, though. I mean, the decks only take up about half the... I mean, I don't know if they're meant to be folded over to store that way to protect them, or I suppose you could potentially lay it out for a little, 3-card or 4-card spread on your bag. Although it's not quite big enough, I don't think, for a 5-card spread. The versions I got first her Crystal Fire Illuminated Tarot in a smaller card size, which I love. She makes these, there's so many variations she has of these different backs, different sizes, different themed colorations. But and this one is a borderless version. That's also another option. This is a beautiful deck. There's no labels on it, which I love. I love the well, now I'm showing you bright blues, but generally speaking, this has a warmer coloration because it's the Crystal Fire Illuminated Tarot. Now, I think I would take some of those blues out and make it more oranges, reds, and yellows if it's the fire deck. The blues kind of cool that fire down a little bit for me. Also, I have another deck of hers that I'll show you that has sharper line work. And that is the Illuminated Tarot. And this is beautiful. Now that one, oh my God, this is the most gorgeous bag I have ever seen. I love brocade anyway. And I love the pattern on it. I love the coloring on it. Even though there's fire on this, I kind of prefer this bag for the Crystal Fire. I just love that fiery color. Now this one also has nice blue backs. It's also a nice size that I like. And it has a little bit sharper line work on it. But the coloring doesn't have that fiery coloring. So I'm in a bit of a dilemma between the two, which one I like better, because this one I like better for the sharper line work, but I kind of like the fiery coloring of the other one. So for me, I wouldn't say there's a flaw, but if I had my druthers, I'd have one that has sharper line work with all fiery colors. So anyway, there you have it. There is my little review of fatal flaws on my favorite decks. And I'm curious to know what yours might be, if you have any. I mean, maybe your favorite decks are just perfect. But I just feel like there's always some little thing in there that you might improve upon. Even in my favorite decks, and I didn't go through every card, there are cards that are not favorite cards. Cards that could be better depicted, better handled, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I am a fussy collector, you can tell. Because even in my favorite decks, there's things I would like even better if they were better They were fixed, they were changed. Things that I don't have a control over changing, but if I did, I would. So those are my favorite flaws. What are yours?